Hey, I'm Russ.
And I'm Steve.
Growing up in the 80s, we were introduced to video games, movies, and technology that made a lasting impression on us and forever enriched our lives.
I think I'm gonna cry.
It's been a fascinating journey to be a part of, one that we constantly treasure.
Higher, booty.
Our goal is simple: share our magical moments of discovery and geek out with lovely folks, just like you.
Achievement unlocked.
So if you crave pixel goodness, memorable moments, and experiences that make your inner child do the happy dance, you've come to the right place.
Let's do this.
Welcome to Joygasm.
Ah, yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Joygasm. My name is Russ, Xbox Live Toaster 360, and with me, as always, is my bodacious brother Steve, aka Xbox Live Stevavitch, as we begin episode 22 on this July 6th, 2017. If you have a question, comment, or want to leave us some love, you can go onto Twitter and find us at Joygasm TV. We're also available at facebook.com/Joygasm TV. And we actually encourage you to go check that out because we have a one-stop shop for all things video games, movies, geek culture, all that good stuff. You can also find us on SoundCloud.com/Joygasm TV if that's more your bag. And we're available on YouTube, although we are trying to get 100 subscribers to that, so that way we can actually have a customized URL. We have a fun show planned for you today. In gaming news, we'll talk about SquareEnix's new game in development and why the Limbo game co-founder parted ways with Play Dead. Movie news is chock full of stories including Robert Downey Jr., Fantastic Beasts 2, the Jetsons, Top Gun 2, the Transformers Bumblebee spinoff movie, and more. The main topic will be the official arrival of Doomfist for Overwatch. But first things first. Steve, how you doing?
Russ, glad to be here. Glad to be with you.
Glad to have you here.
Glad to be with our audience. Although I'm here remotely with our audience. How are you, Russ?
I'm good. I am looking forward to the weekend. I've been a busy little bee, as always. I've been ramping up a lot lately. There's been a lot to do, but that's okay.
And there's a lot that's been done.
Exactly. I can look back and dust myself off and be like, okay,
There we go.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to chill.
I had a lot of fun with you over the 4th of July weekend.
Yes, you did.
Had a little family get together. Little clan action going on there.
Little kin.
Yeah. Spent some time with the extended relatives. Had some very tasty, barbecued chicken.
Sausages.
And sausage, lots of sausages on the grill.
Lots of brewskis.
Yeah, lots of chicken, shredded chicken with the sweet baby Ray sauce. It was really good. And of course, the swimming was nice. It was nice to see all the little kids too. I mean, it's nice to see the next generation interacting with each other, being able to discover new ways of communication. It's encouraging for us to be able to see that.
Indeed.
Other than that, though, what have you been playing, though, Steve? Let's get to the real nitty-gritty here.
The nitty-gritty. Russ, I will have to say, in honor of 4th of July, I played and conquered Battlefield 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been working on that for a while now.
I have, but I've been trying to delay it a bit because, like I said on a few episodes ago, it's pretty short. Like, you could beat it in a day. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's short, but it's sweet.
Did you bring it over?
Kind of like me. No, I didn't bring it over, Russ. I didn't bring it over yet. Although I haven't forgotten about you. So it is good. There's just a lot of small anecdotes in it. So I'm wanting more, and they did good with what they have. I just wanted it to be a lot longer. And I don't say she said that either because... be inappropriate, Russ.
I had no idea. I was not planning on saying that.
But no, I mean, I'd love to play through it again and have the volume cranked up because there's a lot of great sound effects in it. And they did great with what they had. They just had too little of it.
Did you try the multiplayer?
I have not tried the multiplayer.
Okay.
But I got to thinking about it. something, Russ, about the multiplayer, because I did remember that one time I stumbled into it and I was like, what am I doing here? You know, I mean, so
it has funny image of like your character just kind of strolling out right in the middle of all the crossfire. Hey, where am I? Can somebody tell me how I got here?
Is this 2017? Because I haven't seen this before. What are we using these weapons for? These a piece of junk, you know.
Where's the Gatling gun?
Yeah, you guys got any health packs?
Plasma rifles? Anything like that?
Plasma carbines, plasma grenades, some kind of plasma. I want a plasma sword. Wouldn't that be cool to have a plasma sword back in World War I?
Battlefield 1.
All right, bums, here we go. Yeah, jerks. Wouldn't it be cool on the next gen systems if we had a war game set in like Gettysburg or something, where you're like this one soldier, you know, and you have to constantly clean and like repowder your rifle, and you're trying to like not die on the front lines. And I thought, okay, I mean, the story's obviously there because somebody could make it. There's no history, for crying out loud.
Sure, yeah.
But the technology is limited because you can only have so much going on screen at once, right? I thought, wouldn't that be cool though? I mean, I've never played a game that's like that beyond like your typical strategy, you know, conquer, Command and Conquer style.
CNC,
yeah, but have like a first person setting with that whole thing and have like the little piccolo military flutes in the background. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool. And all the drums and stuff.
You see a cannonball go by and lop someone's head off. You're like,
oh my god, yeah. I mean,
humanity.
I mean, the war games have been successful. I mean, Call of Duty's coming out with their back in history war game. What is that called? I forgot.
Call of Duty.
But what's Call of Duty something rather? What is it?
The new one is World War II.
World War II. That's right.
Yeah,
I thought it was called something else, but so I mean, there's obviously an audience back there, and it's obviously successful. I would just think that you know, something like Gettysburg or some famous war, you know, with a little story behind it, kind of like in the movie The Patriot with the Heath Ledger character.
Sure,
you know,
yeah,
being a courier rider or being on the front lines or.
That would be really cool. Yeah. Actually, when I think of like a game that comes to mind is one of the Assassin's Creed games. Didn't it take place during the Revolutionary War?
That was Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never played it, but I think that where the consoles are headed, and even where they are right now, just being able to visit certain period pieces like that. Yeah, especially given just the graphics fidelity, what they can do in terms of like the sheer size of the levels. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be really cool to have, especially if it's more of a cinematic experience. I think it would be super cool.
I think that'd be fun. There you go. Put it out there to the developers. It's on you guys now. It's my idea. I'm just saying.
And Steve will be expecting a 10% return on your profits.
There's going to be a picture of me blinging it up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just been playing Overwatch.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
You know, I got to say something here, Russ. I got to show you a little picture here, a little picky pick, because there's been a couple times where we've been playing, and all of a sudden I leave out of nowhere. You're like, oh, where'd you go? I didn't have anybody defending the flag. Well, that happened to me the other night, and I took a picture of it, Russ, so you could see exactly what I see and what I'm complaining about when I get back on the mic.
Okay,
that's what I see.
Login error. Okay,
so I'm playing the game.
And this is when you're Torbjorn and you're just hanging out, and if you're not seeing any action, then it boots you.
It could be either
boot your ass.
It could be competitive, or it could be arcade or arcade. It doesn't matter. That happened in competitive, but it's the same thing. Where what happens basically is it Battle.net or Blizzard or the game or something sees my gamer tag as being offline.
Well, they have something that's set up in the game that just it encourages people to be active.
Right. Yeah. That's not what this is. That's something different, because if that happens, because I've been booted for that before, as you well know. I'm laying around to let everyone else do the dirty work. Anyway, that'll just bring you back to the title screen, and it'll say on the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you've been booted due to inactivity. This will just bring me to this page where I can't do anything.
Oh, weird.
And Xbox Live shows that I'm still online. I can go on YouTube and I can launch all my social apps and do whatever I want to do on the dashboard, and I'm still logged in. I have to completely sign myself out of Xbox Live and then sign myself back in and then launch the game. And then hopefully I can join back up from where I just lost.
That's bizarre. I've never had to deal with that.
That's happened to me. It's rare, but it's definitely happened to me enough where I'm like, oh, come on, not again.
Yeah.
This time when I got this picture, I was in a competitive match. Intense competitive match, I might have you, Russ. And what happened is that, okay, so that
You
happened.
probably were not a happy camper.
No. So then after I was on that title screen where it said the message you just said.
Yep.
And I logged out, logged back in, launched the game, hit A button to get into like the wherever you want to go, like the title, the menu, the highlights and whatever, or the hero gallery. And then it said rejoin was one of the options. And like in all the big text, I've never seen it before. It said rejoin. I'm thinking, of course I want to rejoin my team. Like I'm trying to, this is competitive.
Yeah.
So I rejoined the team, and within like 3 seconds, it says defeated. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And of course, my competitive score drops. I'm thinking, why am I getting punished for this? This is not my fault. This is Blizzard's fault, you know? Like that needs to be addressed. That happens to me.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with my connection. Like, I don't know what's the deal. Because my Xbox, like I said, still shows I'm good to go. And it's just that game that it does it with. That's never happened in any other game that I've played.
Well, hopefully it's just a fluke. Hopefully it's not something that will happen more and more to you, because that really almost defeats the purpose of playing the game. I mean, it certainly it undermines your motivation to want to keep going and try and do the best you can do. But I'm sure they're going to be working on it, though. They're going to try and fix that.
Hopefully.
I can only imagine you're not the only one having to deal with that, Steve.
I hope not, Russ.
Have you been playing anything else or watching anything else?
No, I did get Netflix in the mail, though, today, Russ.
It's so funny hearing you say you get Netflix in the mail.
Yes. Well, the thing is, there's so much that's available on disc still.
Oh, I know.
And there's not so much the stuff that I want to see that's available on streaming.
Yeah.
And so I flip back and forth from Amazon, the Prime thing, to Netflix streaming and go, okay, let me search up this and see if it's there. Not there. Okay, let me search up this. I want to see this, you know. And then instead I wind up scrolling through the entire menu of, does that look interesting enough to watch for an hour and a half? You know, I don't like, I'd rather just get what I want in the mail and be patient for a few days. And but when I finally made the decision to switch back from streaming to mail, I think everybody on the block was streaming or doing the same thing, because all the screen would get like standard resolution all of a sudden. I'm like, trying to watch my high definition programming, and I couldn't do it, yet I was paying for it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just get the DVDs. So,
well, it's proof that snail mail still has value, even if it's in the form of a Netflix disc. But I mean, you're absolutely right. There are licensing issues that are still prevalent without, proper representation.
Yeah.
You know, you have Netflix and Amazon the Netflix thing is just funny to me, because they have licensing rights to certain films that you can only get through the disc, but then online streaming is a whole nother beast entirely for them to have to try and score, certain licensing rights to be able to display it that way. And just, I could go on and on about that sort of thing. And it's just, and in the end of all things, it's just the customer suffers as a result, because you're just, you're not getting the optimal experience that you should be getting. There's too many fingers in the pie, whether it's the studios or it's the folks who are the content providers, that sort of thing. And anyway, is there anything else, Steve? Oh, actually, what movie did you get?
I haven't opened it yet.
You don't even know what you got.
I made a list.
Oh, mystery movie.
I can take a guess to what it might be, because I was doing some rearranging on the list a couple weeks ago, and I think it's going to be Black Sails.
Oh. So it's almost like Christmas every time you get one. You're not quite sure what you're going to get.
Don't even know. So yeah, there was a series I think on the Stars Network. I remember seeing it in the menu, and I had never watched it, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Watch it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't have cable anymore, so I don't know if it's still going. Probably not, but figured if it's good, I'll keep on getting it. If it's not, I go to the next thing, Russ. What about you? You got any stories of lore?
I do. As you well know, I was playing Overwatch. Oh,
I didn't know
I said
that,
it
Russ.
wrong. Overwatch. There we go. But yeah, I've been having fun with that. I had a blasty blast of a time in our previous episode, just going over that play that was just so incredibly fun to be able to relive. And it was fun to be able to just kind of nerd out there and go over the greatness. But I haven't had anything like that since over the last few days, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I've actually had a lot of fun playing with you on Capture the Flag. There's been quite a few just different matches and little things here and there. I've been getting better and better at using her concussive rocket, just being able to bounce people off. Yeah, just getting those environmental kills. I tell you, it's so gratifying if you see someone like Widowmaker or Hanzo or just someone who enjoys trying to take me out from afar and just be able to sneak up on them, just go boink up, see ya.
A little pluck off the edge.
Yeah.
You know what's even more gratifying though, Russ?
What's that? Having a turret.
Yes. Well, that, yeah. But like in good grief, Oasis, that's what I'm thinking of. It's certain Oasis, like Oasis Gardens. And you're being Torbjorn and you're launching a little lava blip or whatever that is, like a hot metal blip all the way across the screen. I can see someone out there like, hey, I'm just going to see her. Pew, pew, pew. And it's like, ping, ping, punk. Oh, you've just, 100 points. You just eliminated so-and-so. Like, yeah. From downtown.
That's awesome.
Or if you die, you come back and you're still in the spawn point, but you know someone's at the flag and just hitting your ultimate. So your turret goes butt wild. And then all you're doing is just walking out there like, hey, what's going on? Your turret's going bah, 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 bah. Elimination. And you get to play the game. All it shows you is just walking around.
Oh, I'm sure it's extremely satisfying. I haven't really been playing anything else other than that. However, on the watching side of things, I took the wife out to see Wonder Woman. So it was my second time going to check out the film, and I enjoyed it just as much the second time as I did the first time. It's still just Gal Gadot is such a perfect choice for Wonder Woman. I mean, for those of you who haven't had a chance to listen, we actually have in one of our previous podcast episodes, the entire show was dedicated to just analyzing the Wonder Woman movie from top to bottom, and I believe it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. We go into everything from the story to the acting to the cinematography,
biology. I mean, excuse me.
Just the costume design, just everything. And so we definitely encourage you to check it out if you have watched the movie and you'd like to hear some more. Plus, we actually included quite a bit of IMDb trivia for you to be able to enjoy. So it was cool. I really was curious about what my wife thought about it, and she really liked it. She thought it was fun. She really loved Gal Gadot. She thought that Gal Gadot did just a terrific job as Wonder Woman. There was a moment where my wife was talking about just the love scene of Wonder Woman. That was the one thing that she actually didn't really think was all that cool. She thought that like the relationship wasn't far along enough to have that happen. Like it was kind of shoehorned in there. And she said something that made that actually to me, when I thought about it, made a lot of sense too, which is just, it would have had a much bigger impact if they just had like a nice long kiss while dancing in the snow, as opposed to them like going and getting a room and insinuating that they went all the way.
Right.
And she was just talking about how she has always viewed Wonder Woman in this kind of capacity where she doesn't allow herself to be placed in those types of situations. She kind of transcends that. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of interesting to hear her talk about how all she was really thinking about was how a lot of young girls go to see the movie and they see this strong female lead, and she's talented, she's skilled, she's strong, she has all these things going for her, but she's not willing to hold on to that in terms of being curious about what it's like to be with a guy. And so I don't know. I didn't really like think about that the first time I saw the film, but it did make sense. I mean, I was kind of like, yeah. I mean, I'm not completely against the idea of how they approached it, but however, I do think that it would have made that much more of an impact to just see them have more of the budding romance going on, where like they're in the snow dancing, I said, and then they share a kiss at that point, and then suddenly, like, you know, I think as a result, the crowds would be rooting, or the viewers would be rooting for them to have this ongoing relationship, and so it'd be that much more sad during the last part of the scene. Which, if you guys haven't seen it, there's something that happens, and I don't want to spoil it for you in case you haven't seen the movie yet, but it would have made that some of those sequences later on that much more impactful, I feel like.
I think we touched on that a little bit on our Wonder Woman episode. To be honest, I don't remember quite what we said, but I think we did touch on it.
I know that we talked a bit about just like the dancing aspect of it. We loved just how things were done in a very classy manner. It was done. It wasn't like gratuitous or anything like that.
I will tell you though, Russ.
No, you won't.
I had a similar thought as your wife. I thought, you know what? I'm an old-fashioned gay. Okay? I mean, it's Hollywood, so, I mean, the expectation of Hollywood is people are going to jump in the sack pretty much after the third day. Anyway, but it would have been nice. Yeah, I mean, a nice, good kiss. Matter of fact, I think I mentioned the kiss on that episode, and I liked that kiss. It was a good, passionate kiss. I liked it.
Well, I remember in the kiss, because they didn't kiss while they were dancing.
I think at the end they did.
No, they didn't. They
didn't?
No, because they kissed when they went into the room. They went into the room and they had all that romantic lighting, and then eventually they went in. And that was one of the comments I made, was that I actually wanted to see more smooching, because it was like this one brief kiss and then the screen went black.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if they just left it in the snow and the dancing and the singing and like a nice pan out so you could see everybody,
exactly,
you know, the celebratory crowd,
the festive environment.
You're right. I think that would have been spot on. I think everything else beyond that would have been just kind of unneeded.
Yeah.
You know.
The other movie that I went to go see was
now I know why you're not answering my text messages.
Yeah, take that. I saw Despicable Me 3.
Right.
And I didn't see the Despicable Me 2. I saw the first one, and now I just bounced to the third one.
Screw the second one.
Well, I meant to see it, and it just got away from me, so I was like, oops. But I ended up, once again, going out with the wife. Getting some quality time in there. It's been long overdue, but we went on a double date and checked it out, and I really did like the antagonist, which I cannot for the life of me remember how it's pronounced, but it's basically Balthazar the Brat or something like that. But it's voiced by Trey Parker from the creator of South Park, and he just did a wonderful job. And the character is like this character that's just stuck in the 80s, like he was some 80s TV star that just didn't evolve well as time marched on. Like he was one of those talents that just couldn't move on past his prime as being like an 8-year-old or 10-year-old kid. And so as a result, he's just hell bent on destroying Hollywood and that sort of thing. All of that was a lot of fun. And the rest of the film, I mean, it was okay. There were certain scenes that were it was typically goofy and silly. Like you have the Minions running around, and I've never been personally a huge fan of the Minions. I mean, I look at them and at times they can be entertaining, I suppose, but like overall I feel like it's just not my style of humor necessarily. However, I know lots of people who just love the Minions, so if you're a Minion fan, you will probably have a ball watching this movie. And of course, Steve Carell does two characters. He plays the main character, and then as well as the character's twin brother or whatever it is. So that part was kind of fun. My big thing about it is I always love seeing the gadgets in the movie. They always have these really cool blasters or the roadster cars or the ships that they fly around, that sort of thing. Oh, that's great. And actually what was really funny too was a lot of the music they played was like just 80s classics. I mean, you had like Michael Jackson in there, you had Phil Collins, you had some others too. I can't remember which ones, but I was like, man, I haven't heard that song in so long. That is pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. The theater was filled with kids. It was actually kind of a sneak peek of what I have to look forward to, like when my daughter gets older, and because she's too young to go to the theater at this point. But just seeing and hearing like the reactions that kids have watching the movies, that was just a fun little glimpse. That was kind of nice. So
I spoke to a friend of mine about movies and everything. I'm like, hey, did you see the latest Marvel movie, or to see this, that, the other? He goes, nah, man, I got kids.
Yeah.
You asked me about Minions, you asked me about Smurfs, I'm all over it. I could tell you all what happens. All what they want to do with the princesses, yep, I got it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like that with TV shows where it's like, I can tell you everything you possibly would want to know about Paw Patrol. But I'm sure it's also going to occur when it comes to movies too. I'm staying positive though. I think that there will be plenty of movies that I will secretly want to watch, and I will use the excuse of having a daddy-daughter date, and all will be fun. So,
or just an excuse to sneak out of the house. One of the two.
Oh, that true. That too. Go on little adventures. Daddy-daughter time. Anyway,
I could see you pulling out of school. Hey. There's a lunchtime showing of the next Spider-Man. I got you out of class. Let's go.
Dad. What?
I would dream to have a dad like this. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Dad, another movie. Come on.
Well, let's jump into some gaming news, shall we?
Here we go.
SquareEnix reveals new game, Antique Carnival. SquareEnix has announced a new game with details on the project that can be viewed at antique-carnival.jp. Carnival is spelled Carnevale. So it's antique-carnival.jp. And it includes a story outline and a trailer for one of the game's characters, Bernard. Using Jimatsu, it will explore the difference between dolls and people and what separates things from living things. The description goes on to discuss a labyrinth which traps explorers and a boy visiting the labyrinth and understanding the desires of the dolls captured within it. So, not exactly sure what that means. It sounds like it's some sort of trippy metaphor of sorts, perhaps relating to an aspect of life, but hey, it's Square Enix. I'm sure it's going to be pretty good. And actually, have you played a Square Enix game? What was the last Square Enix game you played?
I haven't played Square anything in a long time.
What was the last Final Fantasy game you played?
I think I played Final Fantasy 13. I think it was the last one. Then I stopped.
Okay.
That's been it.
But you're going to be playing the Final Fantasy VII Remastered when it comes out, right?
Russ, I'm going to be camping out at your house. I'm going to be eating all your ice cream and all your snack food. I'm going to be up here till 3 in the morning. Like, when is he going to leave? Russ, get rid of your brother.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Limbo, Inside Studio co-founder, reveals why he left Play Dead. Patty announced his departure from Play Dead last year, and at that time said he made the decision so he could seek new challenges, end quote. Patty recently spoke with Eurogamer, saying there was some kind of fallout. It is kind of delicate. It's also combined with other personal reasons, end quote. He still loves Play Dead and the people at the studio, noting he's on speaking terms with, quote, 98% of the people there, end quote. He went on to add that, quote, it was just time to do something else. I found a way to do it in a way where I could do whatever I wanted afterwards, end quote. He's currently working on the recently announced sci-fi action adventure game Somerville with film animator, Chris Olsen. I don't know if you recall, but that was Limbo, of course, was just an awesome game by Play Dead, and they also did Inside, which was like one of my favorite games of last year.
That was good.
And you watched me play quite a bit of that, including the ending. I mean, that game was so good.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a bummer seeing this, just because I'm sure Patty had quite a bit of an influence on a lot of the decisions being made there, and it's always kind of unfortunate when you have certain creative differences that are going on, but. Hey, at the same time, I'm curious to see how this other project turns out. So, I'm also wondering if they're going to do like a sequel to Inside or if they're going to do something else entirely. But
I thought that something else was coming out. I remember hearing something in the news, but it was like months ago, and I didn't really pay attention that close to it.
yeah. Segueing into movie news, Robert Downey Jr. on the right time to leave the MCU. This is kind of a continuation on from what we were discussing.
Then I bet you like $1 or something.
You did. You bet me $1. Chatting with Australia's news.com, Jr. said he doesn't want to overstay his welcome and will only remain involved in the MCU for as long as he's needed. Quote, everyone says to me it's like a glove that fits so well. I have to start over every time, but I'm starting over with a pretty solid base, he explained. I just never want to blow it for the last 6 or 7 MCU movies I've done by dropping the ball because I decided to go do it one more time. I just want to hang up my jersey before it's embarrassing, end quote. The actor is confirmed to appear in Avengers Infinity War, which will be released on May 4th, 2018. Alex Osborne reported that Downey Jr. has gone back and forth on whether he'll return for a 4th Iron Man movie. In September of 2014, he said there wouldn't be a 4th Iron Man film, only to say that there would be one in the following month. Just last year, he said he's open to returning to Iron Man 4. So it sounds like there's a possibility for that, which would be nice because Iron Man 3 was a little disappointing. It'd be nice to see a little redemption from that. What say you, Steve?
Yeah. Well, Iron Man 3 was better than Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 was just kind of a waste.
Oh, you liked Iron Man 3 more than 2?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I get where he's coming from. I mean, if he goes out, it just leaves room. It does something to the room. It leaves room for another Marvel character to come through, which could be awesome.
I just don't want to see him go. I absolutely adore Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Well, maybe they'll just computer generate him in the next few films.
Just immortalize him.
Yeah. We got enough of his voice. We got enough of his face. He's in the suit pretty much. You have to film anyway.
Yeah, he's not even in there. It's mostly armor. It's not a big deal. Plus, we've already kind of did it in Iron Man 3. So come on.
Right.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sequel begins shooting. New plot details revealed.
I think you're a fantastic beast.
Well, thank you. Lucy O'Brien reports that the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them has started filming, and new details on its plot have been revealed. A press release for the upcoming untitled sequel reveals that the film will be set in 1927, a few months after Newt captured the Dark Wizard, who was played by Johnny Depp. I haven't seen this movie. Actually, that's a movie that got away from me. I wanted to actually check that out, and then life happened, and I still need to play catch up on it. Dad stuff, being a parent, it happens. In the latest, it says Grindelwald has since escaped and amassed followers to his pro-wizard, anti-non-magical beings cause. Quote, the only one who might be able to stop him is the wizard he once called his dearest friend, Albus Dumbledore, who's played by Jude Law. Reads the plot description, but Dumbledore will need help from the wizard who had thwarted Grindelwald once before, his former student Newt Scamander. The adventure reunites Newt with Tina Queenie and Jacob, but his mission will also test their loyalties as they face new perils in an increasingly dangerous and divided wizarding world, end quote. The Fantastic Beasts sequel, which will be the second of 5 planned films, is due to hit theaters on November 18th, 2018. David Yates is back to direct from a script by J.K. Rowling, and Yates has promised that the Paris-set film will feel so different from the first one, end quote. So it's kind of interesting that they're going to be also pushing that out to 5 films. I mean, it makes sense just considering how many Harry Potter films there were. I am not really up to speed in terms of like how many books J.K. Rowling has written for Fantastic Beasts. I'm a little out of the loop on that. I'll have to refer to some friends of ours who are more in the J.K. Rowling camp. Perhaps I'll talk to our good old friend Brad. See how he's doing. The Jetsons to become live-action TV series. Robert Zemeckis Producing
The Jetsons.
Meet George Jetson. Jordan Serrani covered the latest Warner Brothers project, which is looking to bring back the classic cartoon The Jetsons as a live-action TV series with Back to the Future writer/director Robert Zemeckis on board as an executive producer. That's a big deal.
That could be good.
Yeah. Robert Zemeckis, as in Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, Castaway,
Yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, like, the guy, yeah.
He's good. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
You know, to this day, I still want, or sometimes I wake up in the morning and I still want one of those conveyor belts that George had in the mornings. So all he had to do was get out of bed and the robots will do the rest, like, you know, brush his teeth and feed him and then shave him and then put clothes on. All he had to do was get in the car and go, I wanted that.
Yeah. According to TV Line, the new series will take George, Jane, Judy, and Elroy Jetson, plus their dog Astro, 100 years into the future and be set in 2118. The original animated series, which took place in 2062, was also set 100 years ahead of its 1962 debut date. How about them apples?
Man, they had some very lofty aspirations of what technology we would have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man.
Zemeckis will reportedly produce the series alongside Family Guy executive producer Gary Janetti and Castaway producer Jack Rapke. So I wasn't able to find, you know what? Do me a favor and IMDb it for me while we're talking about it. I'm not sure if they even have a whole lot of information on there, but if you look on there for the Jetsons live action TV or whatever it is, perhaps they'll have the name of the director, because I'm curious to see who they've got listed on there.
That'll be a negative. All I show is from 1962 to 1963.
Okay.
That's all there is.
We'll keep a sharp eye on the horizon for that, and we'll be able to report to you guys once we find out about it. Moving right along, Top Gun Maverick release date director announced. Tron Legacy director Joseph Kosinski will officially helm Top Gun Maverick. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer announced the news on Twitter while also revealing the sequel is set to hit theaters on July 12th, 2019. I look forward to that. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I don't know if you're familiar with Joseph's work or not. You saw Tron Legacy, right?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I'm going to have to sit you down and let you watch that one. Have you seen Oblivion? It's with Tom Cruise as well. It's where it's in the future.
Yeah.
You did.
I have seen that one, Russ.
Okay.
I was going to go, yeah. No, but I do remember that one, yeah.
Something actually, like, turned in your head and went, oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was a very
now.
Tom Cruise-y film.
It was indeed. That was a good movie. That was fun.
Not bad.
Star Wars R2-D2 unit from original films sells for $2.76 million.
That's no surprise, right?
Lucy O'Brien reported that an R2-D2 unit made from the original parts used while filming the original Star Wars trilogy and the first two prequels has sold for $2.76 million. E Entertainment, I was going to say EW, and I figured I should say it out. Yeah. EEW confirmed the sale via the California-based auction house Profiles in History. The Ultimate R2 is made out of aluminum, steel, and fiberglass elements, measures 43 by 29.5 by 20 inches, and was assembled from R2s featured in A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. Information on the buyer of the droid has not been released. And if I was a buyer, I probably wouldn't want that information released either.
Yeah, no.
In other news, True Detective Season 3. I know we've touched upon this a few episodes back. Moonlight actor, I'm going to try and say this right. Mahershala? I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. We'll say Mahershala Ali will reportedly star. This is the actor from House of Cards.
Oh.
He was like Frank Underwood's kind of like, not his right-hand man, but he was one of the guys who went around and did a lot of Frank's bidding.
Seth?
I think it was Seth. You'll have to
I look at it.
Yeah. He was one of the better characters of the show. Anyway, IGN reports that he is reportedly in talks to star in the 3rd season of True Detective. According to Tracking Board, Ali, whose performance in Moonlight earned him an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, is allegedly close to signing a deal to star as the lead in season 3 of HBO's crime drama series. Please note, though, that Ali's deal has not yet been
That
closed.
was Remy.
Remy, that's
Remy.
right. Yeah, Remy. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I was surprised.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, he was one of the better characters from House of
Remy,
Cards.
he needs to be in more stuff. That guy was great.
Yeah, he's super cool. Where did I leave off?
I'm sorry
here?
about that, Russ.
Oh, I was just going to say that the deal has not yet been closed, and HBO still has yet to officially announce a 3rd season. So don't take what I'm saying as the Bible. It could change, of course, but figured it's worth bringing up at this point. And last but not least, Transformers. Everything we know about the Bumblebee spin-off movie so far. The first I had a little burp there, kind of threw off my verbiage.
Yeah. Clear my microphone for a second.
The first post-Bay Transformers movie will be Bumblebee, a prequel following the solo adventures of Optimus Prime's faithful lieutenant. With the Bumblebee movie reportedly hitting theaters next summer, here's everything we know so far about the Transformers spin-off, including the director, possible cast, and how the film will stand apart from the Transformers movies we've seen before. Bay has revealed that no fewer than 14 spin-offs and sequels are on the docket. So I don't really know. Based off of our previous conversation about the latest Transformers movie, how neither one of us has any interest in seeing it.
I know.
I mean, just going and looking at this is like, wait, you guys have 14? My hope is that Michael Bay is not attached to all 14, that they'll have new blood coming in, new directors, and being able to check it out. And I'm hoping that this particular spin-off of just like the Bumblebee story, it has potential. Like, it could be actually a really cool film to go check out, but there needs to be certain...
They got a lot of problems they need to fix.
Yeah, certain factors considered in order for that to happen.
Gaps they need to fill.
Exactly. Well, and that concludes our movie news, Steve. At this point, I say we segue right into the topic of the day.
Or the topic of the night.
Wherever you are located in this wonderful world of ours, yes.
Yeah.
And that is that Overwatch has officially teased the long-rumored character Doomfist. So, just going over my notes here. According to the Overwatch blog, Doomfist has been broken out of prison by Reaper and subsequently reclaimed his gauntlet weapon from in-game location Nubani. Doomfist is referred to by the name Akande Ogundimu. The game's fiction already has 2 named characters who have gone by the title Doomfist, but neither one by that name. That implies that this Doomfist is the successor, which can be seen in banners on the Nubani map. I don't know if I haven't checked it out. I haven't seen an update to the Nubani map. Excuse me.
No, I've played it, but I don't recall seeing any banners.
To be fair, though, I have not played the quick play in a while. I've been just capturing the flag.
Yeah, to be fair, I get logged out automatically, so whatever.
So apparently Doomfist is available right now in the PTR.
Right.
The newest playable hero can deal range damage via his primary attack, the hand cannon, and slam into the ground and knock enemies into the air via his secondary attack, rocket punch.
Bam! I got a picture of it right there, Rush. Those are his abilities.
Thank you. I'm going to take a little look-see.
Might have to zoom up on a little bit there, but part of my not having a life was that I spent some time watching people play Doomfist, and at one point they brought that up, or every once in a while they're bringing up that screen of the abilities, and so I had my my camera ready.
Yeah, nicely done. So we have the hand cannon, short range weapons with spread reloads automatically. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of slow, but it's like it's 4 shots. And it's literally one hand's the Doomfist, one hand is like the melee and the shotgun. So it's like one shot like per knuckle, pow, 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 pow.
Oh, interesting.
And if you do one shot, then fine, it'll take like a second and it'll reload, or you can go pow, 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 and then it'll have to reload 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
4.
how long is the reload?
It's about one per second or so. But it's 4 shots. You don't push a button; it does it automatically.
Yeah, it says, let's say, deal range damage via the primary attack, the hand cannon, and slam it to the ground and knock enemies into the air via his secondary attack, rocket punch. Let's see, in the midst of battle, Doomfist can unleash his ultimate ability. This is what I'm really curious about, is his ultimate. They call it Meteor Strike.
Yeah.
So you launch into the air and crash back down to Earth. That could be pretty cool. I mean, it could be a pretty epic visual.
It's not bad. It's cool.
They actually demonstrated it for you?
They demonstrated it for me personally.
They came over to your house. You're like, who are you guys?
Yeah, here knocking the door. Hey, what's up, guys?
Blizzard representatives, and we're here to show you Doomfist's ultimate.
In my boxers, though. Is that cool? Or,
yeah. You guys want a water?
You don't mind if I fold my clothes while you play, right?
So please describe for me what it looks like when he does his ultimate.
So basically, he jumps up, like it's real quick, kind of blurred, and I want you to drink some water there. And you see, there's they're not an auto aim, but there's a big blue circle of where you want to land, and it gives you about 5 seconds, maybe. Oh, 6.
You can actually dictate where.
Correct.
Okay.
So
it's probably within a radius. You can't just go anywhere in the map.
Yeah, no. You can guide it as far as you want within 5 seconds, because after that, he's just going to fall down wherever he is. Yeah. So it's not wherever in the map, but as far as you can guide it for 5 seconds. And then he just comes crashing down, go boom, and hopefully takes some people out with it.
Gosh, I just had a thought.
Yes.
If you're able to actually place his ultimate down anywhere within 5 seconds, that would be a really fantastic ability in capture the flag. Like if he captures the flag and then he launches his ultimate, so he goes up and then you just move it as far away as possible, and then he goes whoosh.
True. That is very true. But he's a very chaotic character. And by chaotic, I don't mean that he is hard to control or anything like that. It's more of he brings this new element into the game that is not there, where I'm
Are you having a brain fart, Steve?
So there's not there. For example, there's not a whole lot of melee attacks.
It looks like you have a seismic slam, which you leap forward and smash the ground. I'm assuming that's a melee.
Well, it's pretty much all melee except for his little hand cannon.
Oh, I thought you said he didn't have a whole lot of melee.
No, he brings a lot of melee.
He brings a lot.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, if you think about other characters in the game, no one really uses that much melee because it doesn't do that much damage.
Right.
You do it towards the end, or maybe if you're Winston, you kind of put it into your attacks, or if you're Genji, maybe. But that's pretty much it. No one else uses it. Well, he uses a lot of it. I mean, everything is part of his fist, for crying out loud. So if you think about a few different characters, he's kind of a mix of Reinhardt and Winston. He's not a tank. He's an offensive player. He has about 250 hit points, and he can fly across the screen. I mean, you can charge up his one of his abilities, and he goes flying across. It's fast. It's faster than Reinhardt's dash.
Oh,
and it's more of a push though.
Okay.
But if you can push them up against the wall or hit them against the wall, then they do damage, right? Otherwise, you can do this rising uppercut into the air and then go forward, kind of like Genji's dash.
Okay.
So a way to kind of get some quick places or some hard to reach places.
Sure.
He can't go in the air. Like you can't like look up and then charge into the air. He can't do that. So maybe Pharah might be a good counter to him, or maybe even Orisa. Orisa might be a good counter to him.
Yeah, I'm seeing here there's a rocket punch. You hold to charge, then release to launch forward and knock an enemy back. That's probably what you're talking about. And then there's a passive ability. The best defense is dealing damage with abilities creates temporary personal shields.
Right. I think it's kind of a brilliant idea, because a lot of characters just kind of start auto-generating a shield. And you're like, what? you have to do damage to other enemies, and that like kind of builds up his sort of rage, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't have a rage, but if you see the backstory, you kind of understand why. But yeah, you get this temporary shield just by trying to do damage to other to your enemies. It's pretty neat, Russ.
So wait, the more people that you injure, then it builds up his personal shield, or
Correct.
does the shield get distributed amongst his teammates?
Nope, just him.
Just him. Okay, I can get behind that.
And that's pretty cool.
I mean, I like the idea of just, once again, his ultimate really piques my interest. But I've noticed too, the screenshots that they've released, there is that sense of kind of that kinetic forward movement.
Right.
But I didn't know if that was just kind of window dressing for the pictures to, kind of generate that visual excitement, or if that actually had a purpose, which I guess it does have a purpose. That's exactly what he does. Well, we have queued up for you the actual Origins trailer that Blizzard has released. And so I have not seen this. I know you have seen it already.
Yes, I sure have.
But I have not. So I'm going to be with the audience. And even though the audience can't see this, we have already posted this on facebook.com/joygasmtv. However, for your listening enjoyment, let's check it out.
Humanity is always being tested. Conflict and war is the crucible through which we evolve. Every battle makes us stronger. Those who fall will be forgotten. Those who rise up, their names will be remembered forever.
So first impressions, absolutely love the anime style.
Yep.
It reminds me of how I can't even really talk about this. It's just a bunch of thoughts are going through my mind. I remember we have talked on multiple occasions about the potential for them to be able to really dive into just the story of Overwatch and how the game itself, just the intro and the little nuggets they've been dropping here and there every time there's a new character they release, or even just showing a bit more of the story. There is so much potential to be able to just have fun with the canon, the Overwatch canon overall. And just watching once again, they're introducing a new character, and I thought it was unique how they decided not to go with the pre-rendered 3D cinematic route that they've been doing. This was much more the traditional 2D anime style animation, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, I look at it and it's like, man, it's just so cool. And like, by the time it's over with, it leaves me just begging for more. Like, I really do I would absolutely love to see a full length movie based on Overwatch. I think that there is just a lot there. However, I will also say that a lot of the trailers that have come out so far, just in terms of like the quote unquote story, they've been very clever in the sense that they wrap it up into these character reveals. It's you know, whether it's like the Hanzo and Genji cinematic where it reveals those characters, or it reveals Widowmaker and Tracer or Sombra, each one of those cinematics, it deals with showing a certain type of, or showcasing a certain type of character, but you really don't have an overarching plot line that's being pushed forward. You hear, I mean, really the only kind of plot that you receive is when you're watching the intro to the game and you hear about like, oh, 30 years ago, we were the heroes of the world and there was all this mayhem going on and we were able to save it. Now we've been disbanded and there's all this stuff going on that calls us back. And that's kind of the high level synopsis of the story of Overwatch, but there really isn't anything beyond that. And I would love to see them dive more into that.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that, you know, in terms of the other cinematics, you have the relationships of the characters. Clearly, there are certain characters that are a bit more of the rogues versus the other characters who are a bit more of like the heroes, like Soldier 76 or Winston or Tracer, that sort of thing. But I mean, still, I'm a sucker. Every time I see one of those videos, those cinematics, I'm just absolutely just drooling over. I'm like, man, that's so cool.
I was thinking the word salivating, but I mean, you said drooling, so whatever. Maybe, I mean, doing the same thing. I'm salivating, you're drooling, but in the end, we still want more.
Yeah. There was always a need for more, and I absolutely love how they continue to release these characters. And Doomfist, based off of what I know, initially the character was not something that Blizzard was seriously considering. It was something that kind of started out as kind of more of a rumor, and people were talking about it, and especially with the initial cinematic that came out, basically the announcement trailer. And you had the kids at the museum, and there's that gauntlet that was there, that sort of thing, and it kind of snowballed into where we are today, where like you just had the fans who were just absolutely enamored and curious about the origins. Once again, just kind of, they want more story. And I think Blizzard just really took that as an opportunity. They just kind of, they probably had a meeting. They're like, well, you know what? Why don't we just make a Doomfist? I mean, we've been kind of teasing it here and there and that sort of thing. But I think it reached a point where you just, why not? I think that it would be a great idea to do so. And so I was actually a little surprised by the personality of Doomfist. Just based off of, once again, just reading into a lot of the gossip, the Overwatch gossip and rumors and that sort of thing about just what could be with Doomfist. I, in my head, thought that Doomfist would be more of an evil character, but I didn't necessarily get that from this trailer. Like he was someone who obviously is pragmatic. He's very observant. He's someone who is very tactfully aware, always gauging the enemy, that sort of thing. But he didn't have like this overarching, like you look at someone like Reaper, and Reaper definitely enjoys being evil. You know, he likes being scary, that sort of thing. But Doomfist really, I don't know, what was your initial interpretation of Doomfist before you saw him in game and the cinematics and stuff versus afterwards?
I see him more like of a neutral character, but neutral and more bad leaning. Like I think the way I see him is he's got a grudge. He doesn't want to see the world burn necessarily.
But how did you see him before all this stuff came out? Like when you first heard the name Doomfist, before all the video and the pictures and the him being in game, like what was in your head? What did you fathom?
I don't know, a guy with a big fist.
Okay, fair enough.
I definitely, one thing I did see was more of like a flaring personality, not so much just hardcore anger and tension. Because like almost every character in the game has, with the exception of maybe like Mercy or somebody, they have a very strong personality. I mean, name somebody and they have it. And I would say a good 80% of the characters do. And he's just more talking straight. There's no nonsense about how he looks and how he speaks. He's not there to be funny. He's there to give some punishment. So I new dynamic to the game for sure.
Now, when you were, let's go back to what you had seen. You saw them giving a demo of Doomfist in the game. Overall, was it pretty impressive, exciting? Did it have good showmanship and stuff, or is it like, just give me your thoughts?
No, it's absolute chaos because a lot of the game, people have either ranged weapons or they have short range weapons, but you're firing something, you're not hitting. This guy is pretty much all over the map.
Okay.
A lot of his abilities are a charge and release.
Okay.
So whether he's charging forward or he's charging up or he's charging down or something like that, he's kind of flying all over the place, and it's all short range. Even his little hand cannon, those are a little short range.
He doesn't move around as fast as Tracer though, right?
No, he doesn't move around as fast as Tracer. He moves around pretty much as fast as anybody. But I mean, kind of think of it as a combination of Reinhardt and Winston. I mean, Winston can move around a lot with his big jump, right?
Yeah.
So Doomfist can't jump like Winston can jump, but he can fly across the map quicker than Reinhardt. He can be a big distraction like Winston can be a big distraction. He's not strong. Like I said, he only has 250 hit points, so he's rather weak, but he's flying.
Oh, wow, only 250.
250.
Okay.
And so, but he's flying all over the map and punching people, and people aren't ready to be punched in Overwatch. They're ready to be shot at. And there's some distance between you. So seeing him just charge up and punch here and punch there and melee, and then zoom to another area of the map, and you might be thinking that I'm safe because they're clearly across the way. No, he can get over there in a second.
Right.
So it brings a totally new dynamic to the game.
Sounds like it. Yeah, based on what you're saying and just what I've been seeing, it sounds like he's a pretty well-rounded character. I mean, it seems to play nice within the confines of the game mechanics of Overwatch. Although, again, this is just very high level. I need to actually play the character and also be destroyed by the character by someone else in order to make a final judgment on that. But everything that you're saying, I mean, and just what I've been seeing, it's just, I mean, I dig it. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. It's going to be a welcome addition to the team. It's funny because I thought, okay, how are they going to put an extra picture in there, like in the hero gallery, because they have like 12 and 12 or 24, and this is the 25th character. They showed it for like a split second, and I thought they would, and so I just kept my camera ready and kept my eyes on the screen, and that's how it looks.
Let me take a look here.
It was basically 10 and 10 across, and then they start out
with a new row
in the middle with 5. Yeah,
I really do hope that they just keep cranking characters out.
Oh yeah,
it'd be so cool to just say 5 years from now have another 10 characters that are in Overwatch, so long as it doesn't break the game design.
Yeah, and so long as it's quality too, because like I was saying just a few minutes ago, each one of these characters has a lot of personality to them.
Yeah,
and they're all very strong. So I don't want characters rushed out just to fill a quota. I would want them to take their time to make decent, quality, strong personality characters. I like the way he looks too. I really dig his style. I feel like it fits in the world of Overwatch, which is saying something because I felt that when Orisa came out, I don't think that she quite fits in with just the visual. This is just my personal opinion, but just the visual aesthetic style. Compared to the other characters, it was certain things that I would have probably wanted to see a bit differently. But in terms of Doomfist, I mean, I dig him. That's all the time that we have for this particular podcast. I definitely want to take the opportunity to say thank you to everybody who has listened to us. You can definitely get in contact with us on Twitter at Joygasm TV if you have a question, comment, or want to leave us some love. We're also on Facebook.com/Joygasm TV. Until next time, I will bid you adieu and happy gaming. Bye now.